Good evening to everybody. So, okay, learner. Today our topic is three dimension, geometric one, block 4, unit number 3. I am audible, na? The sound is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, today we have to discuss regarding three dimension. Basically, two dimension as a plane you can represent in the any any paper. X-axis and y axis you can plot it. But when you are coming in the x, y, and z, there are three another axes are coming. The dimension, two dimension, easily you can plot it through this paper. You can write and also show everything. But when coming in the third dimension, z or something, then it is very difficult to represent. So that's why geometrically also and physically also it is very difficult because there are all three axes are perpendicular to each other. So now we have to calculate how to derive the three-dimension part. Basically, it is the extension of vector part. Through this three-dimension, basically the vectors we have to calculate. Right? You have to take a help of vectors and you have to measure the three-dimensional figures. So yesterday already I have touched little bit the three dimensions. Now here I can show you some of the more details regarding that. So before going to sharing mode, so actually I have sent some of the MCQ questions. I hope everybody have received this through Anurag. I think Anurag has already sent to everybody. I think okay, Anurag is here now. Okay, Anurag I think we have sent already. And some queries also come to me. I have also sent to help this. So anyhow, you do it yourself and you just in the chat box or somewhere you just write what is the answer individually. Just question number 1, A or B, what are the options? Question number 2, A, B, what are the options? So that way, name, roll number, and your your response. So you can write in the chat box, and I'll save this chat box in the end. Right? And let's see me. Tomorrow I'll give you the. I can discuss which are the questions are correct, which are the questions are not correct. So it is individual to individual. You can do it. So by the time you can prepare, I think somebody has already prepared. Maybe they are about to say something. So or if I have a time after the class, and again I will discuss regarding the more and more questions. Okay, so let us start to geometric three-dimensional geometry uh, through this sharing mode. Okay, and this chapter is very small, nothing else, only 2-3 type of uh, questions are coming. It is very small unit. Even though three-dimensional geometry may require in second, third, fourth semesters also. In this year, basic mathematics in the first semesters, only 2 or 3 types is sufficient. And it is again I'm telling you, it is a extension of vectors only, basically. So only the process is lengthy, but it is very easy. So try to clear the concept. So if anybody any questions asks, Any questions regarding when I start the before going to discussion, or if it is not any specific questions to anybody, then I can go ahead for presentation. Okay. Anyway, I think no response means. I think somebody. Tai should take. I think raise the hand. You tell me something. Who has raised the hand? Tai should take. I think it is no full name has come. Has raised the hand. Who has raised the hand? Please unmute the mic and tell me. Some display is there. Raise the hand. The short name is there. Some unknown names. Who has opened this? हाथ उठाया तो कुछ तो बोलो. किसने हाथ उठाया? I think I think somebody has just clicked the hand raise button, but there is no question. Anyway, you can cancel it. Okay, now I go for. Before going, as usual, screenshot. Yes, screenshot. I should take, otherwise I'll forget it. So come for 1 minute. In the camera, please on it and then take a screenshot. Others, please come quickly. Anurag Dutt is here. Mohit Rastogi. Mohit. Shivam. Shivam. Where are you, Shivam? Anyway, so I can wait for a long time because. Okay, okay. So now I have to go for sharing mode. So it is 3D dimensional mode. I think it's not clear in the it's clear now coming in the screen board. I think all are it is visible or not. Okay, I think it is made. So in three-dimensional space, three real number x, y, z are there, and you see the presentation to locate the point p. Uh, in this case, the p x, y, z. There are three planes are given. So O x, y, and O z. The O x, O y, and O z. To understand these things, for three dimension, it is very easy to, if you just in the room, suppose you are in the room, and you just simply stand in the corner of any corner of a room, suppose in the floor, you just use the floor, and you just consider is the corner of the floor, and your right hand side is one axis, this face of wall, this is a right face of the wall, and that is y axis, and your left face of wall, this side to wall of this x axis, the left side, and corner of the line, that is which going to the through the to the roof, towards the roof, or छत का तरफ जो line है, this corner, this is another line. So there are three lines are there connecting to the floor. This is a wall. Suppose this is your floor. You are standing in the floor, and there wall. This side is one other wall. Your left hand side and right hand side another wall. Just you are focusing on the corner of the room. Then you just see there are three axes: x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. So there are three dimensions, and there are three planes. One of the plane where you are standing, that is your floor. One of the plane. Right hand side wall is another plane, and left hand side wall is another plane. So that way there are three planes, and there are three dimension, three axes like this. So that way you can understand. And all the lines for all the axes are perpendicular each other, means there are 90 degrees. All these approximate 90 degree formation means perpendicular each other. So all the axes are perpendicular. So we move to the distance from x to OX. Suppose there are x things, and it is towards x, OX. So that way OY and Z is OZ. Means this condition, we can say x on OX, y on OY, and Z on OZ. So anyhow, so this is Cartesian coordinate axis bola jata hai. So it is just no call for Cartesian things. When he has discovered these things, this way he has represented all these things. So the point obtained, what are the point obtained? That is x, y, z. The pointer. Suppose this is one of the point I show you. Suppose you are standing in the floor, and in your hand one tennis ball in your hand. Now this ball is now in hanging condition. Just hold this ball in your hand, and this ball from the x-axis, what is the distance? From y-axis, what is the distance? And from the z-axis, what is the distance? That is a P point. Suppose you are holding some tennis ball in your hand, that is P point. And you just consider it, there are from the three lines are coming and touching the P. So that way you can also identify the coordinate of the particular P point. Yeah. So as you know, the distance normally you are from the origin, we are calculating P is equal to root over x square y square and z square. This is what are the coordinate for axis point. In case of two coordinate x and y, same thing. Suppose we have seen the earlier in the two dimension PQ. So root over p square plus x square q square like this. So in the three dimension, nothing else, only one axis is extra. So but other thing, so all the formulas are the same as it is. Suppose PQ, in this case, in case of three dimension, PQ will be your root over final x coordinate. Suppose it is shifted from x1 to x2. Now this point has shifted. Now it is travel. Otherwise, you can say the x1 point is travel to x2 point. So that case, finishing point minus starting point. Always you have to remember it. It should not be x1 minus x2. No, because x1 is your starting point. So always when you are measuring the things, always careful your starting point, finishing point to starting point. Because starting point always is a zero. It is started, and finishing point maybe 3 kilometer or 2 kilometer. So we have to minus from finishing point to starting point. That is the thing we have to remember. Plus, similarly, y2 minus y1 and j2 minus j1. So that you have to remind. So it is also called a distance formula. So if the coming exam in the questions, there are points are given, and if you want to do it in the three dimensions, so you have to uh, make the distance formula is like this. So this is one of the formula. You got to note down somewhere. This is the formula. As I said, written in a capital word, distance formula. Now coming to second part. To find a point xyz where divides join of above p xyz and p distance. Now, second question, in this case, it is a simply distance. Okay, distance formula. But here actually divides. Means ratio, some sort of ratio. When the division is coming, means obviously the ratio measurement are coming. And that should be in ratio part. So P and Q, whatever the coordinates are given, it is are in a ratio formation. So x is equal to, in that case, suppose x you have to identify value, then it should be m or n. That is a ratio between two coordinates, two points. So in this case, suppose I can say P by Q is equal to m divided by n, or otherwise you can write it P is to Q is equal to m is to n. That ratio symbol is like this, where we are putting it to uh, things. This is a ratio, this type of, uh, this is a ratio, we are denoting this way. Okay, there are two, दो बिंदी देना है जो like this, तो वो आपका हो जाएगा ratio. So this is the another formula. X is equal to, अगर आपको डिवाइड्स करके रेशियो निकालना है, so you have to utilize this formula, m, x, y and z. And in this case, what are the changes? You just see the formula. What are the changes that there? In the case of x, x2 and x1 is there. This is multiply by ratio m. Here multiply by ratio n divided by m plus n. You see everywhere in the denominator m plus n, no change. Only in the numerator, changes is x2, x1, in this case y2, y1, and in this case j2, j2. That you have to remember it. So this is your section formula. So which is called section formula. Okay. So there are two formula we are getting. One is distance formula, and this is a section formula. Now another part you have to remember it in three dimension, that is a direction cosines. So direction size is another thing, and that you have to uh, remember it. How it has come. Let it take a three mutual perpendicular axis. ले लीजिए x, y, z. Mutually three axes are there, and all are in perpendicular. Right. So and a line L. The line L is there, one line that is which subtends angles of alpha, beta, gamma. Now there again I am telling you there are three axes x, y, z. तीनों axes आपस में perpendicular है, means they are 90 degree each other. One line starting from the zero origin point, that is L, passing through, and that line are making an angle, a different angle with different axes. X के साथ कुछ इसका एंगल है, y के साथ कुछ एंगल है, z के साथ इस एंगल is another separate line OL. What is the angle? Alpha, beta, and gamma. There are three angles. Now, with the positive directions. So again, this is a very positive directions is given of x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis respectively. Means this line, new line OL, are in a positive, no negative. It is a positive with x-axis, positive with y-axis, positive with z-axis. Okay, respectively. Now we are deriving the ratio, cosines. So in the case of x, OP, actually we are pointing at taking the point OP. OP is falling or the line of OL, particular OL line. अंदर में within this OL line, we are taking one point P to derive the cosines. So in that case, x divided by OP, x divided by OP, cos alpha is equal to, because x-axis, so alpha will come, cos alpha, that is I think cos. This is your new formula. Now in this case, if we only x, so x is equal to OP into cos alpha. So this is your new formula. In case of cosine, the direction cosines, so you have to carefully avoid. In the case of x, suppose you are finding the x in terms of direction cosines, then OP, what are the length is given, this up to the point, into cos alpha. In case of similarly y by OP, the cos beta, because y is following the beta angle, this beta angle, so that case y is equal to OP cos beta. Here is nothing, just simply it is multiplying by OP, it is cross multiplication, x, y, z. Actually, we are concerned about the x, y, z. That's why x, y, z. Simply it is OP को आप इधर लेके आइए, राइट हैंड साइड में लेके आ जाइए. That's why इधर मल्टीप्लाई होगा. बस इतना ही आपको याद रखना है, x, y, z इक्वल टू OP, OP तीनों में आएगा, because the point is OP in line of L or alpha. So angle has changes, alpha, beta, and gamma. And cos to रहेगा because it's a cosines. So now in this case you see OP square is equal to x square plus y square plus z square, as we know. So considering this, so in this case x is equal to OP cos square. So we are pointing out the x value are changing. So OP square is remains same, no changes. But in case of x, y, z, you have to put a new value of x, y, z, and you are getting another equations. So finally, you will get cos square alpha plus cos square beta cos square gamma, and is equal to, it is considered as 1, because ratio is in terms of 1, or we can say here in short, this is, we can say L, M, or N. So We can denote it cos alpha in terms of L. Cos square beta is m square and cos gamma is n. So L square plus m square by plus n square is equal to 1. So it is now proved. It may help you in the solution also. So during the solution, you will get these things. So I will show you some of the example where these things was applicable. So here three things you have to note down. Number one, distance formula. Okay, simply PQ root over x2 minus x1. Number two is the your section formula, whatever it's x, y, z, and then is a direction cosines from where you are getting the value of x, y, z in terms of cosine. Now we see the example. Equation of line PQ where P given, P point is given and Q is also given. Their coordinates are given x1, y1, z1, and Q is also given x2, y2, z. Simply you see there are differences x2 minus x1, y2 minus 1. So as you know, that is the in case of ratio. So in case this portion is cosine, when a cos alpha portions, so we can ratio by L. That is m, n in short. So L, m, n, which we have received from here, so we can consider it. Now we are utilizing these things L, m, n. So now, so as we know, there are 2 points are given. So x2 minus x1, then y2 minus y1, and z2 minus z1, n is given. Okay. So dividing 1 and 3, this is the equation 1, this is 2. So if we divide it, so this portion are coming like this way, x minus 1, and this is coming this one. And here is also L, here is also L. So L are automatically cancel each other. Here is also M or N cancel each other. N and N also we are cancelling each other. So we have new formation of so equation of line are you can make it this way. So question is like this, equation of lines. How to prepare prepare the equation of lines. So that time you have to prepare it this way. Otherwise, you can these two P and Q. You can straight away write these things. Some of the books are written directly this portion, x minus x1 divided by x2 minus x2. So these things directly is given, not showing these things. But as a student, as a learner, you should know where it has come. So you have to L M. Actually, ultimately, N L M already remove this part because of the divide. So it is removed. So if you remember these things, well, no problem. So it is a theoretical part. Some of the things, steps you should know where it has come. Now another thing you have to remember, that is the angle between two lines. So angle between two lines you should know. Suppose this is a L1 and L2, there are two lines and the angle is theta. Okay, given. So you have to measure the theta angle. In this case again, you can see it. Let L1 and L2 be the lines with the direction cosine of L1, M1, N1 and L2, M2 and M3 respectively. So we are considering as a three-dimensional always. Yeah. Here you see, first of all, to calculate it in a two-part, OP and OQ. That is we are considering as R, because the both are R conditions. From O to OP and OX all are in R. say R. Okay. Now PQ square is equal to, we know, OP square plus X square. Basically the distance formula, based on distance formula, and minus 2 into OP is actually P, uh, P or Q is making a formula, A square plus B square formula basically, and this part is coming this way. Or OP actually we are considering is R, both the cases R, so R square plus R square minus 2R square cos theta. So, and so ultimately these both are, my joining is, so PQ square is equal to, you can take it right hand side, so 2R square 1 plus cos theta. Basically it is a formation like this. Then after this formation here actually 1 minus cos theta, then equivalent now this is a 2R square 1 minus again R square, actually you can put it in a LL1, both are L1 L1 and then M1 M2, right? N1 N2. This way you can also, because it is basically the theory part. Your part is basically you have to remember theta is equal to pi by 2 conditions. Then it is the, so both the cases you make it 0 as pi by 2 is 0. So coplanar, it may be question can come, angle you have to show it. So all are in coplane or perpendicular each other or not. So that time the result will be 0, and you can declare it to all the planes are in the perpendicular state. Let's see another thing. Coplanar and skew lines also you can go to the study material. Another 2 3 things you should know. Again, I'm telling you, coplanar skew is nothing. It's only if it is a making a 0 or some relations are there. Suppose R is equal to 2R or 4R or 6R, some sequence are there that is increasing in such a way, then you can tell it is all a coplanar lines. Now let's see another important, the distance between skew lines. That is also very important. I'll show you some of the numericals of distance between skew lines. Here are some formulas, different formulas there. It is measured on the common perpendicular. Here you see the A is particular, A is given, and this is one of the vectors are given. Means one line, this line is there, and because we are talking about the lines, and this is a vectors. Vector is in the sense of, even though it is also line, so it is just part of A and another vector. Another things is B, another line, and it's also combined in another vector, it's V. So U and V. So that case, you have to how to determine the lines. Means a combine of vectors, the lines and a combine of vectors, how to determine the lines and their ratios R and S. So that case, the formula is TRS, means distance of R and S is equal to H. In this case, we are considering H is equal to P divided by AH. So this is the formula. Again, V stands for, this is the equation, formula is there, V. How to derive the V? We have capital V, that is your vector A V into U vector into V vector. So are divided by AH is stands for U vector plus V vector. So there is some sort of formula is there. So you have to remember this formula, and maybe your questions like this in terms of common perpendicular That time you have to consider it. This thing. And this type of lines will give you all the inputs of A, U, B, and V will be given in the questions. So you have to remember only this formula. Within this formula, what are the values that is giving in the questions? So don't worry about it. So only you should know this formula, and you take the values from the question paper and you put it and calculate it. I'll show you one example, then it will be more clear. Here you see there are some distances given, uh, R and S is given. The following minimum distance given, x plus 8 by 2, and in the case of y minus 8. So it is like this, it's given. So if we know the formula DRS, so DRS, so formula is H is equal to V by AB. So in this case, A is we take the values of 8, minus 10, and 6, and U vector is here 2, 3, and 1. So from here you have to take the values. So from the R, you can consider it your line values are 8, minus 10. Why it just changes? You see, x plus 8 is equal to 0. Considering x plus 8 is equal to 0, so x is equal to minus 8. Here y minus 1 is equal to 0, and we get y is equal to 10. So y is equal to 10, is 10. Then z minus 6 is equal to 0, so z is equal to 6. So you get a 6. And like this u, because it is a part of u is you are considering, as I show you in the formula, a and u, and in this case b and v are like this. Yes. If you remember these things, then it will be very easy. A and u is one of the line and vector. It's combined. So this is your question. You can take it from here. This is your value, A value you are taking, and your U value, value as you are taking from 2, 3, 1. Similarly, we take the value of B. So B is equal to, now x plus 1 is equal to 0. So x is equal to minus 1. So minus 1. Here is y minus 1 is equal to 0. So y is equal to 1. And z minus 1 is equal to 0. So z is equal to 1. So this value I can get it from here. But you have to consider it x plus 8 is equal to 0. Hence, why making 0? We are considering this distance. These all are in perpendicular and it is a 0 formation. So we are considering it and we are take the value of x, y, z. This way. Then vectors of particular minus 1, 2, and 4, minus 2. So you see from the formula, now you can easily take the value based on this formula. So V actually, here V is equal to your, so you can put the value this one, okay? Because V is equal to, so it is V by AB. So V is equal to this part, you can get it. If I multiply it, you can get it. And here actually I am not showing all these details straight away because it is all in multiplication only, and you can make it in a practice formation. So my concern is to show you how to fill it up the values from the question in the formula. Balance things you have to calculate it, and practice is equal. So finally you get the value of these things. I'll show another example. There are a lot of examples like this. Find a distance of the 3 points. 1, 2, 3 points. And collinear is another type. So you have to prove it is a collinear. Collinear means, as I told you earlier, they should be in same value almost, or some proportion are coming in sequence. You see here actually root over 14, then it is 3 root over 14, in this case 0. So it means root over 14 is a common and it is 3 times, it is 3 times. So it's almost similar fashion, similar sequences. So we can say it is all are in collinear. So value are collinear. And simply you see here A, B, C are considering A, B, C, and you take the value of A, B and, and B, C. So A, B and B, C, then you can take the value, how much it is coming in AC. So A, B, B, C, and AC, there are 3 lines taking the points between these, and this is the formula, distance formula, and see the values. All the values are linear fashion. So we can say all 3 points are in a collinear. That's all. So there are 3 to 4 steps. Only you take the values from here, and only the distance formula you are utilizing and proving that is a collinear. So 5 marks. And there is the ratio, direction ratios. Earlier I showed you the theorem, some procedure are there, and this is the numericals. So again, the direction ratios are given, lines are given. The values is given, lines are 1, -2, -2. What are its direction cosines? So again, you know the ratio, direction cosines formula is this. A is equal to A divided by A square B square C square. It's a common. A, B is like this, and the value has changed, and lower portion is same as it is. So you know the values is given, point value is given, and this one is like this. So value is given L, M, and N. The ratios are coming. Cosine ratio basically it is coming. So this is the answer of these things. These things you have to do it. So only based on this formula. This is also another direction cosines. Same thing. There are 2 points as given, passing through the 2 points. And earlier case it is not passing through the 2 points. It is single 1 point. 1 point. So what is the difference between here? Another point, set of pointers there. Like this. So don't know problem. Same things. Instead of 1, there are 2 points. So we have to x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, and z2 minus z1. Same thing you have to do. Other thing is even same. So here, see the changes the formula is. Earlier case it was simply x, y, z. Now it is x2 minus x1, z2, y2 minus y1, and z2 minus z1. That changes up there because there are 2 points as given. Questions like this. So it is similar questions. Find the direction cosines of the line passing through the 2 points. Just only a 2 point instead of 1 point. Earlier one, 1 point. There is no 2 point. But same question, same thing. So if you understand that this thing, and second on also you can do it. So that's why I have suggested. I mean, I have collected the notes in such a way so that all type of problems you should know, and even in the time of exam, if it has changes or things, then you should not be any problem. Whatever it is single point or 2 points, so it doesn't matter. Here is this. This is the way you have to calculate. If you practice it in your things. So first, if these 2 points, you can write it, and this is x2, this is x1. So you not be any mistake. So during the exam, normally due to hurry, students are mistake. They are minus from -2 to -1. So it should not be. It should be like this. First you point it out, P and Q, and you all are x1, x2, y, z2, and you are marking x2, y2, z2. Then you can put it in the formula and derive it. Then this chances of mistake will be less. There will be no chances of mistake. Only here you have to be very careful. Now the vector equations for the line through the points. Now here is the vector equations. So vector word has come. Earlier now so far I have seen there is no vector word. Now here some vector word is given. Again the lines are given, 2 points. Also find the questions equations. So first you read out the question very carefully. You know the vector come out, and you know the things, 2 points, if it's 2 points, how to make the distance and all these things. And question equations as given. Now you have to consider question equations formula. Benz ratio part, if you go the Gaussian ratio equations, so you have to prepare in such a way it doesn't achieve. So nothing is new. So again the 2 points. So first you prepare these things, x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, y2 minus z2. What are the things are coming? And it is a vector form. Let's see what are the things are coming. Now you are making is a vector form. Okay. So what are the value has come? This value is from here only. And if you put it here, this value is already given. Nothing new. All the data is available. It's 3, 4. So when you put all these values, ultimately you will get these values. Now you make a vector. See, these steps are automatically why you are doing this, because question demands. And the question is given vector equation. Find the vector equation. Find the equation. Then वेक्टर वाला जरूरी नहीं था, ये बोला गया है कि आपका जो लाइन जो बनेगा ये होगा, ये वेक्टर इक्वेशन के द्वारा होगा, तो इसलिए हमको वेक्टर में जाना पड़ा। तो क्वेश्चन के साथ साथ ही चलना है, जैसे क्वेश्चन मांगेंगे, जो भी क्वेश्चन डिमांड करेगा आपको भी वही करना है। So vector equation is given, and then after that आपको क्वेश्चन equations formula passing through this वो formula में जाना पड़ेगा। That formula is here. I have given all the steps. You will not get it in the books on the all details. Anywhere books में सॉल्व तो क्वेश्चन में नॉर्मली स्टेप जो है स्किप कर देते हैं, इतना सारे स्टेप्स नहीं दिखाता है. Because of that, you may be facing the problems. So I am trying to show you all the steps so that whenever you will do it, you can easily understand. So this is your quotient equation points. Suppose this type of points are given. So this is the formula x minus x1, x2 minus x1. I think I have shown you earlier also. And this is the information. Now here, if you know this formula, अभी इसमें क्या हुआ x1, y1, z1, तो वैल्यू है 3, 4, 7, तो वैल्यू आया ना, सेम वैल्यू है 52, जो वैल्यू 3, 4, -7, and this is your t. I mean, this is your main part, and this is your cosine square, basically angle, cos. Right? Vector के टाइम मैंने बताया था, the second portion के angle portion. This is the main, and this portion is basically the angle portion. This is a ratio portion. So from this, what about the 3, 4, -7 and -2, 5, 6, 13? ये आपको represent करना है So this is same thing you are representing here only. This value of research here. ये कहाँ से मिला ये value? This is from the vector. Vector सबको point मिला. ये कहाँ से आया? You have to derive these things, these functions. इधर से मिला 3 minus 4 7, okay, and minus 5 13. So if you do it for the cosine directions ratio, from here what are the data is coming, that data को आपको सजाना है, you have to rearrange on, that's all. और finally आपको cosine equation में, yeah, only the practice is required. If you carefully observe, इसमें कुछ है ऐसा कुछ है ही नहीं, only the preparation and how to arrange the things, सब data, what are the things data को manipulate करना. Formula is such a way you are just manipulating the data from इधर का माल उधर उधर का माल उधर, just you are putting in such a way and finally you are showing the result. So all these procedure and types up to practice करना पड़ेंगे, इसमें ज़्यादा कुछ है नहीं. Then find the angle between the following pair of line. Yesterday I have shown you दोनों में angle कैसे निकालना है. Same thing you have to take it. Here T and S ब्रैकेट वाला पोर्शन जो है ये आपका एंगल कोसाइन फॉर्मेशन में, दिस इज द मेन फॉर्मेशन. सो पेयर ऑफ लाइंस के ऊपर, तो x by 1, दिस इज द 1, yes 1, and y part is 0, z is -1. सो आपको यहीं से लेना पड़ेगा 1 0 -1 दिस पार्ट, एंड हियर इज x by 3 minus y is 4 and z part this formation. All these things are given in the question paper. Now this is the formula, you know, actually yesterday I told you, the theta angle, this is the formula, cos theta is equal to a vector into b vector divided by magnitude of a vector and magnitude of b vector. So when you read out the things, this formula, how to read out? You have to read cos theta is equal to vector A into vector B divided by magnitude of vector A into magnitude of vector B. अगर आप ऐसे याद रखोगे तो क्वेश्चन भी ये फॉर्मूला भी याद हो जाएगा धीरे धीरे. And then all this figure is available. I think everything are available in the questions. Simply whatever the data is available, you just see that you put up. Okay. Then you will get the result theta from it. There is two questions, no? That's it. And same questions. Anyway, I think इतना ही है. Linear program कल बताएंगे. There's a linear programming, some of the points are there, and that you have to remember it. And tomorrow we'll discuss after that. This is the 4-5 point is very important that you have to note out. When we discuss it, to note out. And finally, I'll show you some example. 1 or 2 different example. So that way, आपका पूरे syllabus काम चलेगा. Okay. Now I have to go some little more, show you some of the study material. इग्नू study material क्या है? Let's see. So now I have to try to find out in the study material if any new things are there or not, so that आपको syllabus पूरा हो जाए. Here, see which one we have covered it. Yes, up theory है पढ़ लोगे, हाँ पढ़ लो. That already I have explained. There are 3 walls. The plane is there like this. Okay. There's the P point. Okay, that we have already discussed. Now, distance between 2 points already we have discussed. If there are 2 points, That is the p square, how simply root over x square y square z square. Then nothing else, x2 minus x1. If it is a coordinate point is given, so we can see this. That also we have discussed. Then ratios. Ratios also we have discussed. Okay. Yes, x y z ये आपको याद रखना है. देखिए जहाँ जहाँ I am just holding now in the study material, it is everything. Here you have to note down and underline the things. कहाँ आपको याद रखना है based on the solution, because याद रखना means all these things are required to do the numericals. Numericals करने के लिए आपको ये सब चीज चाहिए. X y z value, this is also required. Example, find the distance between the points. Simple. So p q is equal to simply, ये तो आपको आता होगा, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. So this is your answer. Now distance cosines also हम लोगों ने discuss किया. Again, things cos alpha, cos theta, and cos gamma is coming. L, M, or N in the case of things. Otherwise, you can write uh, cos alpha divided by L, cos beta by L, like this way. Or otherwise, simply you can write L, M, N, cos alpha, cos beta, and cos alpha. Also, A way, this is you have to remember it. Maybe during my previous slides, I have discussed. Finally, you see there are one has come. Finally, this is your things L square plus M square, N square is equal to 1. ये आपको remember रखना है, ये भी आपको highlight कर रखिएगा. This is the situation where the things are coming 1. Then L, M. This 3 is also very important. ये आपको याद रखना है. L is equal to A root over x square plus. Suppose there are 3 points, or suppose there are 2 points, or maybe 1 point. Same formula will be coming. No problem. नीचे रूट ओवर हो जाएगा और ऊपर में टू वैल्यू हो जाएगा ABC. It may be x y z, it may be x2 minus x1, y2 minus 1, कुछ भी हो सकता है, but A आपका remains same. This is V वेक्टर का वैल्यू कैसे होता है? A, B, the product that was this and this. A. So this is your direction of cosines, direction ratios, and the direction cosines. Just you have to remember what is the difference between here. There's a new type of formula based on this. So x2 minus x1, but in this case it is a magnitude of r square. Magnitude, all are magnitude. Then again it is a direction cosines. So normally in the exam solution are coming based on your direction cosines and your so direction cosines again is same thing are going on. Yes, this also is working. Then here actually the study material you may check your progress, that you should practice it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5. Check your progress. Definitely have to. Another thing I can tell you, whatever the units, when you go through the IGNO units, पूरे यूनिट को देखने के बाद आफ्टर दिस पूरे यूनिट जरूर आप चेक योर प्रोग्रेस का अच्छे से देख लीजिए. and you try to do it at least one or two solutions your own. Sometimes check your progress one, लिखा हुआ एक किया हुआ है already solve किया हुआ it's given I think already somewhere answer is given. Okay, I think somewhere is given. Even though suppose this answer is not given in the study material, so you have to do your own. Why I am telling all these things? Because when the examiner set the preparing the question paper, because question paper will be set by the another university, maybe some other unknown person, nobody knows who will prepare the question paper. He has only given the EGNU syllabus. These things उनको दिया जाता है, एग्जामिनर को प्रोवाइडिंग किया जाता है. दिस इज आवर EGNU स्टडी मटेरियल. Sir, please prepare the examination paper based on this. So, examiner, when he start preparing the question paper, all units इस जगह में आके चुपचाप देखता रहता है और यहीं से उठा लेता है कोई भी एक क्वेश्चन, नंबर 2 उठा लिया और नंबर 5 उठा लिया और सीधा क्वेश्चन पेपर में सेट कर देगा. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा वो वैल्यू -1 का जगह में -2 कर देगा, तो -1 -2 दिस थिंग स्लाइड चेंजेस कर देगा. दैट्स ऑल. इसलिए मेरा रिक्वेस्ट ये है, study material after just go through the particular all syllabus, and when you are finally preparing the stuff from the study material, जरूर आप चेक पॉइंट प्रोग्रेस को आप जरूर उस जगह में आप अच्छा से देखें, क्योंकि आपको पता है कि क्वेश्चन जो एग्जामिनर है यहीं से क्वेश्चन छपाएगा. अगर आपको पहले से अंदाजा है जैसे क्वेश्चन यहीं से छप रहा है तो वो चीज़ आपको जरूर करना चाहिए. मेरा यही कहना है. It is not a secret. It is open. Everybody knows. Even in the all universities. That's why they have some syllabus, some textbook. They are prescribed. This is the textbook. This is the materials. आप पढ़ो और क्वेश्चन बनाने के टाइम और की टीचर को दे दिया जाता है उसको फेयर कॉन्टैक्ट करने के लिए, सो दैट कोई भी टीचर बायस्ड होके अपने स्टूडेंट्स को बताना दे. क्योंकि दूसरे यूनिवर्सिटी का टीचर होगा तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट उनको क्या कैसे कहाँ से क्वेश्चन बनाए, तो उसी यूनिवर्सिटी का सिलेबस को स्टडी मटेरियल को स्टडी करेगा, देखेगा और वहीं से करेगा. सो नो प्रॉब्लम, क्वेश्चन पेपर डाउनलोड कर लीजिए और जो मैंने मटेरियल बताया वो पढ़ लीजिए. चेक योर प्रोग्रेस हर यूनिट का देख लीजिए, बस. नो प्रॉब्लम, आपको कोई रोक नहीं सकता. अगर 100% कॉमन क्वेश्चन मिल जाएंगे आपको. Anyway, now see the equation of straight line. ठीक है. ऐसे आप जब भी स्टडी मटेरियल गो थ्रू करोगे तो जस्ट जहाँ चेकिंग प्रोग्रेस आ जाएगा रुक जाना वहीं पर थोड़ा टाइम के लिए और देखो. और एग्जाम्पल सॉल्यूशन तो है ही, ये तो आपको देखना ही है. And you have to do it. Whatever the solution is given, that definitely have to do it. And for here you see, find the equation of the both vectors and Gaussians passing through these things. I think similar type of one example already I have shown you. Vector भी लिखा हुआ, Gaussian भी लिखा हुआ. So इसको नजर में रखते हुए just keep in mind. So vector formation में है, this is vector formation कर दे. Now this is again the Gaussian formations, and finally this is the Gaussian formations. So when this type of formation is there, means आपको अगर ये जो values है -1, 1, 2 और 3, -2, 5, ये कहाँ से आया? ये इधर से आएगा. देखिए आपको मिल जाएंगे. 1 इसमें, -1 इसमें, 2 इसमें और 3, -2, 5. इसको जस्ट कुछ नहीं है, सिंपली इसके सिर्फ फॉर्मेशन में बना देना है. यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर इन दिस फॉर्मेशन. आपको हो गया क्वेश्चन फॉर्मेशन हो गया. सो आपका क्वेश्चन फॉर्मेशन हो गया. दैट्स ऑल. इसमें ऐसा नया कुछ है ही नहीं, सिर्फ उसको आपको टेक्निक मालूम होना चाहिए. व्हेन यू आर सीइंग ऑब्जर्विंग, अब देखने में लगता है बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स लगता है, ये तो बड़ा मुश्किल है, लेकिन ऐसा मुश्किल नहीं। अगेन देखो, you see Cartesian equations of a line. This is cos theta. I think just now I have told you. This is from one formula, angle formula. तो क्वेश्चन में जरूर एंगल मांगा होगा. लेट्स सी द क्वेश्चन. एंगल बिटवीन टू लाइन्स. दैट्स व्हाई तो दोनों लाइन है. हो गया. The question formula. That is cos theta is equal to this. Cos again the angle between two lines. Okay. I'm trying to observe any new things are there or not in the study material. Then we can discuss. I think nothing is new. All are same type, a little bit just different things up here. This also angle cos theta. But in the exam, you try to put a theta only, because if you do up to this, cos theta is equal to, this is also correct, no problem. But finally, angle theta is equal to cos inverse 11/40. That you have to write it. So if you write up to this, so there is no deduction. Complete 5 marks you will get. Or otherwise, if you up to here only, not theta, maybe one marks may be deducted. To show perpendicular. Perpendicular to length. So condition. Again check points. Check the progress. So जहाँ पे आपको check the progress आ जाएगा, वहीं पर जो 3-4 जो भी दिया हुआ है, आपको अपने आप सॉल्व करना है. अगर if you do these things, I can assure question will come from here only. Okay. Yeah, value may be changed. Suppose 5 के जगह में 4 हो जाएगा. That's all. Shortest distance. Shortest distance, I think yesterday we have discussed already. So this is the formula. Yes, this is the formula. Shortest distance. Yes, C minus C, these things. So you can find out the yesterday note. This is the familiar things. You can get it. I think this also we have discussed yesterday. Find the shortest distance between the lines whose vectors equations are these things. In this case, you see there are, you have to consider it 4 vectors, D, B, C, A, D. One, you can take it from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 vectors, and then after that you have to put in a formula. Then you can make it a matrix formation, and then finally this is your formula, shortest distance between two lines. This is your formula. Okay, so based on this you can put it here, and all these things are, you can get it from the questions, because B, D, C, A, everything are available in the questions like this. And it is a coming, you can get from the here. So this is your questions. All the vectors are given here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and formula is based on this only. This is your formula. This is your formula. That's all. So if you remember, and finally this is your answer. This is answer. That's all. Only calculation and practice. It is up to you. How much effort you can do it. Another thing I can tell you as a basic, those who are now a little bit worried about the math. Suppose you can write in a piece of paper in your notebook. You can write chapter unit, whatever it is in the top. Block number 4, unit number 3. Shortest distance you can put it underline. Then first you can as a bullet or point mark the first things. You can write some of the things. One, it will be look like this. Question like this. You can write this for your purpose. Then you write in your own languages. First things I have to see or I have to collect the vectors. How many vectors are here? One, two. पहला स्टेप जितने सारे वेक्टर इसमें दिया हुआ क्वेश्चन में उसको सेग्रीगेट कर लीजिए, बना लीजिए, ए बी सी ठीक है. देन यू कैन राइट थर्ड स्टेप्स. जस्ट अपने अपना नोट बना के रखें. सबसे थर्ड स्टेप फार्मूला ऑफ डिस्टेंस शॉर्टेस्ट डिस्टेंस फार्मूला. आप फार्मूला को लिखते हैं. दिस इज योर फार्मूला, शॉर्टेस्ट डिस्टेंस फार्मूला ऐसे करके लिख के रखिए. Then I think if you write this much only is sufficient. So when you are practice it, if you see these three things, आपका ऑटोमेटिक माइंड में रिमाइंड हो जाएंगे. शॉर्टेस्ट डिस्टेंस में कुछ नहीं है, जो भी है 2 लाइन तो दिया जाएगा, कम से कम क्वेश्चन तो दिया जाएगा, उसमें से हम चुन लेंगे. तो 4 वेक्टर में बना लेंगे हम. 4 वेक्टर जैसे हो जाएगा सीधा फॉर्मूला में डाल बस खत्म. 4 में कर दो और गुना भागा जो करना है करके रिजल्ट. तो हमारा शॉर्ट डिस्टेंस का प्रिपरेशन हो गया. उसका 5 मार्क्स मेरा पॉकेट में जेब में आ चुके हैं. बस ऐसे करके हर टाइप का आप अपना आप एक नोट बनाओ, स्पेसिफिक नोट, क्या क्या स्टेप्स करना है आगे चल के. एक रेसिपी, बेसिकली यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर वन रेसिपी एज पर योर ओन. आप एक ना एक रेसिपी बना के रखो. दिस इज द चैप्टर, बट दिस इज द टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन. उसका क्या रेसिपी होगा. पहला है ये क्वेश्चन क्या होता है और क्वेश्चन से हम कैसे इसको चुनेंगे, कौन सा फिगर लेना है, फॉर्मूला क्या है और फॉर्मूला को अंदर में कैसे बैठाएंगे. बस तो अगर इतना आप नोट छोटे छोटे करके नोट बना के रख दोगे, देन आई थिंक आई फील इतना कठिन नहीं होगा आपका. तुरंत तुरंत याद आ जाएगा सब कुछ. अनदर थिंग, चेक योर प्रोग्रेस का कोई चिंता नहीं. वो कि सॉल्यूशन मटेरियल में दिया हुआ है, तो आपको सिर्फ प्रैक्टिस करना है. जो ऑलरेडी सॉल्यूशन किया हुआ है, दैट सेम सॉल्यूशन यू हैव टू प्रैक्टिस इट. डजंट मैटर ऑल द इक्वेशंस गिवन. तो आपको बस इतना ही प्रैक्टिस करना सारी चीज. इफ यू प्रैक्टिस इट देन यू कैन. I can tell you the IGNO materials are preparing in such a way. It is a world class study material. So you need not to go any other things, YouTube, other books, कुछ नहीं देखना है. आपको सिर्फ स्टडी मटेरियल में फोकस डालो, इसको प्रैक्टिस करो. इसमें जितना फार्मूला है जो मैंने कहा, हाँ कि कागज में अपना क्लिपिंग में छोटे छोटे नोट करो. That's all. आई थिंक जो चेक ऑफ प्रोग्रेस दिया हुआ वही सब सोल्यूशन किया हुआ है. नथिंग एल्स. सो आई थिंक यस, so लेंदी है दिस बिकॉज यू हैव टू लॉट ऑफ टाइम कंज्यूमिंग, बट इट्स नॉट वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू डू इट. सो हो गया. स्टडी मटेरियल भी हमने देख लिया. नथिंग एल्स, नथिंग इज ऑल द थिंग्स आई हैव गिवन. ओके, सो नाउ आई थिंक ऑलमोस्ट वी हैव फिनिश्ड. तो सिलेबस में तो जितना था कवर अप हो गया और हमने कोशिश की आपको एग्जांपल भी देने के लिए. तो इफ आई गेट एनी मोर सॉल्यूशन, different solution, definitely I'll time frame provide it. Tomorrow our class will be last day. Tomorrow our class will be finished, but it doesn't mean you cannot ask anything. You can ask always, no problem. So WhatsApp to hai. In between after the class also, suppose for example after 4 days if I prepare something or if I get something new things, definitely I will upload. Right, to give some anurag or somebody, those who are in the lines in the ground breathing. So ऐसा कोई problem नहीं है. I will time to time I will provide all the things, and best thing only I can say you practice it. That's all. But during the practice, if you stuck up somewhere, I will explain. As today, I think morning, I have received one request from, I forget the name. So उन्होंने जो WhatsApp किया, सर सेकेंड क्वेश्चन में सेकेंड ऑप्शन में मेरा कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, तो आई सॉल्व इट. मेरे एक प्लेन कागज में पेपर में हम करके बना के उनको व्हाट्सएप कर दिए. आई डोंट नो हियर सर्कुलेटेड और नॉट. सो जो भी पर्सनली और इन ए पर्सनल लेवल और एनी हाउ मुझे कुछ रिक्वेस्ट देता है, तो मैं उसको बना के भेज देता हूँ, सॉल्व कर. मैंने पूरा करके भेज दिया, एक पेज पूरा बना के. अरे हुए, आई थिंक इज द लाइन है, ही हैज इन द अटेंड द क्लास और नॉट, नाम तो मैंने भूल गया. Who is the person? व्हाट्सएप नंबर मांग रहा है. मैं तो मेरा व्हाट्सएप नंबर है ना, दिया नहीं है. अच्छा, चैट बॉक्स में मैं लिख देता हूँ. इन द व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप तो है ही, उसमें तो है ही नंबर. और ईमेल आईडी okay. So I'm giving you both the things, my WhatsApp number and Gmail also. So if any specific queries, you can send to me. I think forget the actually, I received one WhatsApp message today around 11. I received. Student name नहीं था, no name, but I'm assuming he's a BCAOL student. He has given a queries of MCQ question type. So then I have given the total solution I have given. So I don't know who is. Another request is, when anybody first time giving a request in the WhatsApp message, please write your name or no number, because then I can identify. Now I don't know. Please, good morning, sir. Actually, I have a doubt in questions, such and such, whatever it is. So I don't know who is the name of these persons. Oh, yes. It is Anju Kumari. Anju Kumari is here. Anju Kumari, have you received Anju Kumari? Yes, available here? No. Anju Kumar, I think. Yes. Anju Kumar. KYMI लिखा हुआ. वो कंफ्यूजन है, व्हाट्सएप नाम क्या नाम आता है पता नहीं, क्योंकि आई हैव नॉट सेव द नंबर. नो, सो एक्चुअल नेम भी है, आई डोंट नो. जो रिफ्लेक्ट हो रहा है उसमें अनुज कुमार. हाँ, ये अनुज कुमार आ रहा है. सो अनुज कुमार है किधर? अनुज I think Anurag is correct. I think he is Anuj, not Anuj. Anuj छोटा छोटा है ना, वो मोबाइल में मेरे को देखने में प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है. Anyhow, so what I mean to say, आप लोगों को कुछ भी प्रॉब्लम हो, आप मुझे भेजते रहना आपको दिक्कत. तो कल तो क्लास खत्म हो जाएंगे, ठीक ना. तो बताओ, टेल मी इफ एनी स्पेसिफिक doubts or Parash just now is joining. Hello Parash, you are joining. अब तो क्लास तो हो गया, अभी ज्वाइन कर, अभी इतना लेट क्यों ज्वाइन हो रहा है? I think all are different state of mind. So anyway, that is not a matter because online class anytime anybody can join, and that is not an issue. But only thing uh, you have to careful about your study, uh, practice and practice. That's all. Doubt another thing when you start practicing, so doubt is definitely will come. It is invariably, and you have to take it as a challenge. Yes, whatever the doubt will come, I will overcome and definitely I will do. Or if you face any problem, Parash, have you read? Okay, don't worry, Parash. Actually, whatever your name and room number you have already written, so attendance in the end of this class, I will take the chat box, all these details, I will copy it, and I will keep separately, no problem. So those who have not written anything, uh, you can write here in the chat box. So that I will take care, no problem. Even it is a auto mode, auto system, attendance as soon as you entered in the this platform, so attendance is already recorded, so no problem. Somehow, if it is a missed, so don't problem. It is already in the RC1. They have a mechanism, so automatically uh, it is recorded. So that I have seen observed. How much daily, how much students are coming and joining, so it is recorded. And that is a for safe side. The chat box also is parallelly we are keeping as a record. So no problem. So I think how many learners have done these MCQs? All 11 questions I have given. How many have already performed these things? You can raise the hand or you can switch on the camera, mic, open the mic and tell me who has done all the questions correctly. If there is no response like this, then actually I am planning to give tomorrow more MCQs. So if it is the response is less, then I am also not motivating now, because you have to motivate me now. Then only I can start preparing more and more MCQs. Otherwise, I will stop because students are not doing their MCQs. Maybe any reason. Then I thought maybe it is over. I think it is a stress for the students only. Or two things it may be. One, students are not interested. Two, maybe students are not getting time to do this. There are two things, isn't it? So if people are response more and more, then I can also prepare for you. आप जितना हार्डवर्क करोगे, मैं उसको दुगुना ज़्यादा हार्डवर्क करेंगे. पहले आपको हार्डवर्क करके दिखाओ, तो मैं उसको डबल हार्डवर्क करेंगे. आप लोगों को और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्वेश्चंस, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा सॉल्यूशंस ये भेजते रहेंगे, ठीक है ना। सो आई थिंक मैं नाउ चैटबॉक्स का सारे अटेंडेंस नोट कर लेता हूँ, एंड देन आफ्टर दैट by the time if any specific doubt anybody in mind, let me say, no problem. So chat box is okay. If anybody any problem, tell me. Yeah, last see there are today is now 11th class is already 11 times we class already you have done, and tomorrow और एक क्लास में 12 क्लास हो जाएंगे, ठीक है ना। so far आप लोगों का कुछ इम्प्रूवमेंट हुआ? व्हाट यू फील नाउ? जी यस सर, हम लोगों ने कुछ सीखा, बस एटलीस्ट कुछ आइडिया तो हुआ यूनिट के बारे में। जितना भी आप लोगों को क्या आइडिया हुआ वो मैं सुनना चाहता हूँ। अगर नहीं तो टोटल 11 क्लास जो है टोटल वेस्टेज हो जाएगा, है ना। अगर आपको लगता है यस वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड नाउ 20% 30% आ गए, बाकी बैलेंस आप लोग को प्रैक्टिस करके हो जाएगा, तो वो मैं जानना चाहता हूँ। अनुराग सिंह, अनुराग इज हियर, तो टेल मी कुछ क्लासेस से आपने क्या सीखा? माइक आपको ऑन कर लो।
फॉर्मूला वगैरह
बोलो।
सर, फॉर्मूला वगैरह रिमाइंड हो गया।
वेरी गुड। और क्या हुआ? फॉर्मूला रिमाइंड हो गया, और
स्टेप्स वगैरह जो मिस कर रहे थे वो भी।
करेक्ट। तो छोटे छोटे जो मिस्टेक्स जहाँ जहाँ स्टेप्स में आप लोगों को फंस रहे थे, आई थिंक नाउ दिस थिंग्स ऑल्सो यू हैव लिटिल बिट क्रॉस ओवर हुआ है। सो व्हाट यू फील नाउ? आई थिंक नाउ प्रैक्टिस इज डेफिनेटली रिक्वायर्ड, इज इट नॉट?
यस सर।
Okay, fine. So I can say at least 30-40% जो है आपका थोड़ा बहुत पता चल गया है। जब
यस सर।
BCS-12 में है क्या चीज़।
प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन करने पड़ेंगे।
करेक्ट। सो लास्ट 4-5 ईयर्स का क्वेश्चन पेपर करोगे तो अनदर आपको 10% 20% और इम्प्रूव हो जाएंगे। सो स्लोली बिफोर एग्जामिनेशन आपको कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाएगा 80-90%, आपको पूरे कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाएगा, मेरे वही लगता है। एनीबॉडी एल्स? आई थिंक और कौन है? पारस इज हियर। पारस तो अभी बाद में है। पारस कालरा, यू आर इन लाइन। Who is now listening? Anybody else wants to say something? अंशुल शर्मा, अंशुल है?
यस सर।
हाँ अंशुल बताओ, अभी लास्ट
एक्चुअली
11। हाँ बताओ।
यस सर, एक्चुअली आई हैव मिस्ड टुडेज क्लास।
नहीं, मैं आज की क्लास की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ।
यस सर।
हम यही पूछो, मेरा क्वेश्चन यही था कि
यस सर।
थ्रू आउट जब से क्लास अटेंड कर रहे हो,
यस सर।
ड्यूरिंग दिस पीरियड में आपको BCS-12 का जो मैथ है सिलेबस के बारे में कुछ जानकारी मिल गया?
यस सर।
क्या क्या चैप्टर करना है और क्या क्या मेहनत करना है, कुछ
यस
फॉर्मूलाज
सर।
वगैरह जैसे
यस
अनुरोध ने
सर।
बताया। तो
यस
आप
सर।
कुछ और कुछ बताओ, आपका क्या नॉलेज में क्या बढ़ा आपको, क्या आपको उपलब्धि हुआ, ये बताओ।
सर एक तो मेथड्स भी काफ़ी बेटर है।
ओके।
मेथड्स एंड फार्मूला जो है
हम्म
Yes, sir. Way of solving the question is better.
Okay,
That I had already studied in 12th.
okay,
As compared to 12th, the method is very well correct
correct.
and easy to.
जो उसमें कमियां था, मतलब जो भी तो वो whatever the gaps are there, now it is filled out, is it not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, and better way you can do it. परफॉर्मेंस जो है आपको बेटर हो जाएगा.
Yes, sir.
वेरी गुड. सो आई थिंक अंशुल ने बहुत अच्छा जवाब दिए हैं. And I feel also that Anshul is confident because he is already 11-12 में मैथ किया है. तो आई थिंक अंशुल के लिए कोई ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम होना ही नहीं चाहिए. ओनली अंशुल को ज़्यादा और मेहनत करना है, थोड़ी बहुत और आधा घंटा 1 घंटा एक्सरसाइज करना है डेली. तो होपफुली बिफोर एग्जाम डेफिनेटली विल बी मोर एंड मोर कॉन्फिडेंट. करेक्ट. सो और कोई है? नाफिसा अली. Actually, name is there, so that's why I'm calling. Nafisa is here. Nafisa Ali, you are listening? और कौन है? रबीना कुमारी है?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
हाँ, बोलो. What you have learned?
Uh,
Any improvement?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. काफी. सर मेरा तो 11-12 में मैथ तो नहीं था, बट अच्छा लगा पढ़ के.
Okay, फिर भी अच्छी. I have seen you are responsive and you are most of the classes you are attend.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Most
sir.
of the times your response is also good.
Yes,
And
sir.
definitely main thing जो है इच्छा शक्ति होना चाहिए.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
सीखने का. वो 11 में क्या किया, 12 में है कि नहीं, डजंट मैटर. सीखने का कोई टाइम नहीं होता है.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
और जिसका इच्छा है, चलने की इच्छा है, वो जरूर सीख लेता है. तो वेरी गुड. एंड मोर ओवर BCS-12 में जो भी आपका बेसिक मैथ रखा गया है,
Yes.
ये 11-12 से हट के रखा है. 11-12 में बहुत ज्यादा कोर्सेस है.
Yes, sir. Yes,
और
sir.
ओनली सिलेक्टेड सिलेबस, सिलेक्टेड यूनिट्स को ही रखा गया है. उसमें से भी आपको ओनली चुन के छोटा छोटा क्वेश्चंस रखा गया है,
Yes.
जो एक्चुअल आपको BCS प्रोग्रामिंग के लिए, नेटवर्किंग पर्पस के लिए, सेकेंड थर्ड ईयर फोर्थ ईयर में जो आपको स्टडीज है उसको हेल्प करने के लिए, सपोर्ट के लिए आपको सिलेबस में रखा गया है.
Yes, yes.
सो वेरी गुड. आई थिंक इफ एनी डाउट्स आप बाद में भी हम मुझसे पूछ सकते हैं, व्हाट्सएप कर सकते हैं. सो नो प्रॉब्लम.
सर कल का तो MCQ था, तो वो तो सारा बन गया, बट वो सेकंड में थोड़ा सा दिक्कत है. सेकंड तो बन नहीं पाया.
सेकंड मैंने जब व्हाट्सएप जो किया था, मिला था आपको जो प्रिंटेड
Yes,
11
sir. Yes.
questions?
Yes, sir.
That part you have done. I think all the answer you have.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Done.
Good. तो आप मुझे व्हाट्सएप कर दीजिएगा
Okay, sir.
क्या आंसर है आपका. तो
Okay.
मैं देख लेंगे आपको कितना सही है कितना गलत है. कल हम बता देंगे, आपको नंबर भी दे देंगे.
Okay.
ठीक है. और
Okay,
टुमारो अगेन आई विल गिव सम MCQs. क्लास में दे पाए नहीं भी दे पाए तो आप बाद में भी करके मुझे दे सकते हैं. नो प्रॉब्लम.
Okay.
Because it's all these things will be added in your assignment. Assignment में भी आपको इस चीज को थोड़ा बहुत कंसिडर किया जाएगा.
Yes, sir.
बिकॉज असाइनमेंट इवैल्यूएशन का टाइम ये भी देखा जाता है कि कौन सा स्टूडेंट रिस्पॉन्सिव था ड्यूरिंग द क्लास. क्लास में जो इंटरेक्शन होता है, हाउ मच यू हैव इंटरेक्टेड, प्लस व्हाट आर द MCQs व क्वेश्चन पूछा गया, आपने क्या जवाब दिया, राइट और रॉन्ग. ये सारी चीज़ को आपका टीचर व इवैल्यूएटर जो है वो आपको नजर रख रहे हैं. ऑल एवरीथिंग आर रिकॉर्डेड. So that's why it may be added some more marks. Okay, because if some students are very attentive, some students are every answer he has given, तो उसको definitely उसको benefit मिलता ही है.
Yes,
But
sir.
it doesn't mean जिन्होंने सुना नहीं है बिल्कुल खास नहीं, उसको 0 मिलेगा, ऐसा नहीं. Everybody get as per their own marks. I mean जो assignment जो है, but इंटरेक्शंस एंड द MCQs क्वेश्चन में जो करेक्ट करेगा और रिस्पॉन्सिव होगा तो उनको नेचुरली कुछ ना कुछ बेनिफिट जरूर मिलेगा. सो ओके रवीना, थैंक यू वेरी मच. आप अच्छा
Thank you,
कर रहे
sir.
हैं.
Thank you, sir.
अच्छा कर रहे हो और करते रहिए. और आपका कोई भी डाउट हो
Yes, sir.
मुझे जरूर आप भेज सकते हैं, मैं
Yes, sir. Yes,
आपको
sir.
सॉल्व करके भेज देंगे, नो प्रॉब्लम।
Okay, okay, sir.
फिलहाल हो सकता है कुछ डाउट नहीं है, आप जब करेंगे और प्रैक्टिस करेंगे तो डेफिनेटली मोर एंड मोर डाउट्स विल कम, सो यू डोंट वरी, आई डोंट हेजिटेट टू आस्क मी और राइट समथिंग, ओके।
Yes, sir.
अच्छा, नेक्स्ट और कोई है? Actually, I am trying to take some feedback for my own purpose, so that what the way I can help. Main thing is मेरे को और क्या करना चाहिए आप लोगों के लिए, आप लोगों को बेनिफिट्स के लिए, मदद के लिए, वही कोशिश कर रहा हूँ और कुछ नहीं। अक्षय इज हियर, अक्षय हु इज हियर? अक्षय है? नहीं। विक्रम, आर यू हियर विक्रम? I think I am observing some of the Austin Oj is from, probably this actually the display name is different. शिवम कुमार नहीं है। और एक कौन है आउटसाइडर लग रहा है? अमरदीप है? अमरदीप, आर यू हियर अमरदीप? Who can tell something? Anybody? तो कौन चलेगा? अक्षय is there? अक्षय? Nobody is there. I think okay. Tomorrow I think already काफी टाइम हो गए, so maybe the students are डिनर टाइम भी है, तो ठीक है। टुमारो आई थिंक हम लोग जो है लास्ट टॉपिक्स जो है linear programming, that is also another important chapters, and I can tell you linear programming is very important in this last unit, but it is a very important unit because linear programming as such it is required in your future semester and for higher studies. So if you are even in your further studies, I mean MCA और मे बी द हायर स्टडीज के टाइम भी आपको लीनियर प्रोग्रामिंग अच्छे से समझना चाहिए, एंड दैट लीनियर प्रोग्रामिंग विल हेल्प योर नेटवर्किंग एंड अदर सेमेस्टर्स, मेन कंप्यूटर कोर मैनेजमेंट कोर सिलेबस के लिए भी इट विल वेरी मच हेल्पफुल। तो कल हम लोग चर्चा करेंगे, टुमारो विल डिस्कस अबाउट द लीनियर प्रोग्रामिंग and I will try to give you some of the example and the tricks how to learn programming, and it is very easy. Little lengthy, lot of steps are there, but very easy. I think one or two example definitely you will understand very clearly. So okay, I think now I can take the chat box just once again. I think somebody has final chat box details मैंने कॉपी कर रहा हूँ। If anybody think want to write something, लिख दीजिए। If you want to say something or remember name, क्योंकि अभी भी just एक दो एक्स्ट्रा आए हैं, so I take a fresh chat box details and try to save it and try to save it in the So, okay, I think now I can stop the recording.